Yay Networks.
Welcome to another episode of A Sandwich and Some Lovin'. I'm Kelly Raspberry Evans, along with my husband, my partner in life, and my partner on this podcast, my co-host, Alan Evans.
A-Train in the house.
Now, this is without any build-up, no warning. We didn't, pre-promote this. But we have a very special episode of the A Sandwich and Some Lovin' podcast.
We're spontaneous on this podcast
Very
sometimes,
spontaneous.
aren't we? We produce on the fly. Sometimes we produce 5 minutes before the podcast.
Sometimes. And you know what? This just might be the best podcast we've ever done.
Or it could be the most wheels off.
We'll see. It could go either way.
But yes, we have a very, very special guest here at Evans Manor in the Sandwich and Some Loving studio.
Otherwise known as Daddy's office.
Yes.
He's reclaimed it again. Although I think you've moved permanently to the dining room.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time relocating back just because I don't know why.
I've been back at work for over a week now, going into the studio, and Alan still has not moved back into the office I vacated.
I know it just doesn't feel like my space anymore.
Well, it's your podcast space at least.
Even though there's guitars hanging on the wall and Star Wars characters everywhere, and also sitting in the corner, shirtless.
Our very, very special
Our
guest.
very, very special guest. We have one Dylan A. Evans. Dylan, how are you this morning?
Good.
All right.
All right.
Wow. First time. Well, not first time on the podcast for Dylan, but
You've said hi before.
you've said hello.
But this time we're really going to talk a lot to you because, man, we have so many questions for you because you have developed a new passion in life. And that passion is for what?
Fishing.
Fishing. You said it with a question mark. Absolutely fishing. That's all you talk about from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. You wake up probably in the middle of the night thinking, oh, how many more hours do I get to go fishing again, right?
Yeah.
We've been fishing a lot, haven't we, buddy? We went again. Yes. When did we go? Last night?
Yeah, we went last night.
Uh-huh. And how did you do?
Good.
What did you catch?
Largemouth bass, green sunfish, bluegill, and sunfish.
Now, how old are you, Dylan? I know this answer, but for everyone listening.
I'm 8 years old.
8 years old. And when did you decide that? I remember for Christmas, didn't Santa Claus bring you a fishing pole for Christmas?
Yes, which I got a new one.
Yeah, but is that when you started thinking about fishing, or was it before that?
Way before.
Yeah. When did you start thinking about fishing?
Well, my friend's dad is a fisherman, a big-time fisherman. And he was talking about fishing, and I wanted to go fishing. So that's how I wanted to go fishing.
Did you go with him first before you went with your dad?
No.
Okay, so you just talked about it and got excited. And so for Christmas, you got a fishing pole. And let's be honest, Santa didn't really bring the fishing pole. You wanted something more substantial, right?
Yes.
So you got the fishing pole of your dreams.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. How do you pick out the right fishing pole?
It just matters how good of a fisherman you are.
Mm-hmm. What does that mean?
Like, if you're just starting, you want a push button. If you're into fishing, it's a spinning reel, and if you're a serious one, it's a bait caster.
Okay.
Wow.
And then if you fish forever, it's a fly rod.
Oh,
Wow.
How did you learn so much so quickly?
My dad taught me.
Oh, awesome. I didn't really know your dad was that into fishing.
So, buddy, yeah, I've told Dylan that I've fished ever since I was his age.
Yeah, but we never really talk about it.
we
I
don't
know,
really talk about it too much.
you want to go, I knew you wanted to go deep sea fishing, and that's, just something I thought you just wanted to do. I didn't know you were that passionate about it because that's something we haven't really ever done.
But Grandma, and Grandpa took me fishing. I was telling Dylan, they took me fishing almost every weekend when I was his age to Lake Arrowhead, which is a lake that's pretty close to Wichita Falls. And they had a dock, and they would take me out there, and we would go crappie fishing, and he'd bring a little old school lantern that he would light up with, I think it was propane that would light up this lantern. And we'd sit there all night trying to catch crappie on that dock. And I was also telling Dylan that one time I caught the week's biggest fish, which was like a 3-pound catfish. and I won a rod and reel at the bait shop because the
How
bait
about
shop
that?
would do a contest every week on who caught the biggest fish on the dock. So I won a rod and reel one time.
How about that? And those are really great memories that you have
I still remember them.
with your parents. And now that's the beauty of this is you're creating some beautiful memories with your dad, right, Dylan?
Yes.
Hey, Dill, tell everybody, okay, you just got a rod and reel, and I want you to tell everybody what you got here in just a second. But you had to get a new one because something happened to us a couple of nights ago when we were reeling in a fish. And what happened?
We were reeling in a 2-pound bass, largemouth bass, and then we were about to get it on land, and snap, the rod just broke, and it was brand new.
It was brand new.
It was brand new, and the rod snapped.
What'd you say when the rod snapped?
The rod, I said, why?
Why?
So what happened? But I hooked that bass, right? But then I handed you the pole, and you were trying to fight that bass. And then what happened?
It went under the
It
moss,
went under the moss.
which made it harder.
Mm-hmm.
And then I gave the rod back to my dad. He pulled him out of the moss. He gave the rod to me. And then right when we were about to get on land, snap. It was like 5 inches away from land.
Oh, man. And then how did you, because you still caught it. What happened after that?
We just took pictures.
I mean, you were able to get it in even though the rod broke.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But
yeah.
when we were hauling the fish in with our hands and the line, what did we each say to each other?
Buffoonery.
Buffoonery. Buffoonery.
Total buffoonery.
And
Yes.
is that the biggest fish you've caught so far?
No,
What have you caught bigger than that?
I think a catfish.
Oh, a heavier, bigger catfish?
When we went to Texoma, he caught a really nice, his first catfish. He caught a really nice, what kind of catfish was it, bub?
Channel catfish.
Channel cat. Now, how do you know all the different
I don't-
types of fish?
I didn't know there was just a catfish. I didn't know there were different types.
For an 8-year-old, you sure do know a lot about the species. How do you know all these different types?
Fish books.
Fish books.
Listen, this kid, I'm talking about you, Dylan. He loves anything to do with animals as far as, TV shows and books. He's just really passionate about that. What's your favorite kind of animals to read about? I guess now fish.
Yes.
But other than fish,
Lions.
you like lions. Why do you think you like animals so much? Why are you so interested?
Because I get to go fishing and it just makes me think about animals.
Yeah. Yeah. So that picture you took with your dad and that, what was it, a wide mouth bass? Big mouth bass?
Largemouth.
Large mouth bass. That was the biggest mouth on a fish I've ever seen.
Well, it is the biggest mouth on the fish in freshwater.
In freshwater. So are you going to ever go out deep sea fishing with your dad?
I don't know about deep sea fishing.
Oh,
Why?
We'll go someday.
What do you think about it?
Well, not right now, but late.
Maybe later?
Yeah.
You think you need to have a little bit more muscles to pull those big fish in? Well, you're doing pretty good so far.
I went with my friend. I was telling Dylan, I went with my friend, Mr. Jeff. Remember me telling you that, Dill?
Yes.
And I caught a big barracuda.
King barracuda.
Caught a king barracuda. And that was a lot of fun, too. And you thought El Jefe. No, that was Cole. Cole thought El Jefe meant Mr. Jeff. But it meant,
What?
But it meant,
What?
but it meant boss. Right?
Yeah.
And
You have to use that more often. El Jefe is a pretty good one.
Mm-hmm.
and you like it when Daddy gets called boss, right? That happens a lot.
Yeah.
Why do they do that to me?
They called me boss once.
Who called you boss?
When you won that car, when I was getting my lemonade, somebody called me, "Hey boss, that's your lemonade."
Oh, I remember. That was at Patrick's event.
Yes.
Do you remember when we went to Disney World and at the restaurant? What was the waiter calling you?
I forgot.
You forgot? Was it like Skipper,
Scooter and Junior.
Scooter and Junior?
He called Cole Scooter and he called you Junior.
Do you like that?
Yeah.
That's pretty fun. But you know what? You and your dad and Cole are getting ready to do something pretty cool,
Yes.
and I'm not going. Tell everybody what you're doing.
We're going to stay in a hotel. Then tomorrow we are going to go on a guided fishing trip.
All right.
And what's why are y'all going to stay in a hotel tonight?
Why, Dill? You tell everybody.
Because if we don't stay in a hotel tonight, we're going to have to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Ugh.
Earlier than that,
That's
really.
early. That's later than I have to wake up though now. But
Yeah, we'd be up before or around when Kelly gets up. That's early.
that'd be fun. We could all wake up together, and Daddy could make us all breakfast before I go to work.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
You'd rather
know.
stay in the hotel.
Yes.
So you're going to stay in a hotel. Now, if you get to stay in the hotel, how late do you get to sleep in?
Well, that'll give us about, I think, Dill, that'll give us about an extra hour. So,
That's
I mean,
it.
yeah.
Hey, but in the
But
morning,
still,
an hour of sleep
An
is
hour,
precious.
an hour is a lot, especially with these guys. And that'll give us time to get a little breakfast
But
and
it's just a fun adventure to
wake
do a
up.
road trip with the
Yeah.
boys.
Oh, for sure.
And you're going to do a guided fishing trip.
Yes.
Now, this is exciting. Your dad's told you about this before. You haven't been with him before yet, right?
No.
So what did your dad tell you about the guided fishing trip?
We're going to catch crappie, which I really want to catch. We're going to catch sand bass, which I've never caught.
Mm-hmm.
And we might jump in the lake
Yeah. Why do you jump in the lake?
because it might be hot outside.
Oh, and what else?
The fish, if the rod breaks.
Why else would you jump in the lake, Dad?
I don't know.
Never mind.
There's not a bathroom on the boat, right, buddy?
Oh.
Oh. Hey, you do what you got to do in an emergency, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be exciting.
It'll be fun. I told Dill, the guide we're going with is my friend, and we talked about this on one of the other podcasts, is my friend Kenny. And Kenny is he was a firefighter, and now he's a police officer, but one of his other jobs is a fishing guide.
Yeah.
So I believe his company is called bigcrappie.com. I believe that's the name of the company. But anyhow, he offered to take us out, and it's going to be me, Dill, and Cole. And he said we should probably get our limit in a couple of hours, maybe 2-3 hours, 4 hours at the most. And we can catch 25 per person. That's what Kenny said.
Yeah, there's a limit. So when you bring all those fish, are y'all going to bring all those fish home? You taking a big cooler?
We're going to try to get our limit and take a cooler, and then Kenny's going to clean them up for us and fillet them. And Dylan wants to, he said, I want to be the first to try the fish after you make them. Right, bud?
Yes.
So we're having fish fry tomorrow night.
Yes.
Oh, awesome.
All right. Tell everybody, too, buddy, you and Daddy, since you've been so into fish, we have this bro date we go on, and it's a restaurant. You remember the restaurant that has the Yoda on the wall? And he's got the chopsticks? What do you like to eat there?
Sushi.
Sushi. Now, when I tell people that my 8-year-old son likes sushi, they can't believe it. What's your favorite sushi roll?
California roll.
Yeah,
Me too.
That's Kelly's favorite,
There's nothing
too.
wrong with that. But you've tried some of the other sushi. Has he tried them yet, or just stick with California?
The first time we went, I think I let you try a little tuna and a little salmon. And you
Yes.
didn't quite care for that too much, did you? A little too much fish
You
for
might
you.
later. You might later. Your taste buds will change. That's what I keep telling the children.
Your taste buds will change.
Your taste
right?
buds will change.
Yes.
Well, you're a good buddy to your dad.
Oh, he's the best fishing buddy. I told Dylan he is the best fisherman in the family. Whenever we go fishing, he catches like 15 and I catch 1.
It's because I use worms, not like big, heavy crankbaits.
Oh. Well,
Yeah, but you said something that you really like using some new bait last night. What were you saying?
Rooster tails.
What are rooster tails?
They are good baits. If you put a worm on the hook and just reel it in, you'll get bass, bluegill, and green sunfish.
Mhm.
Do they have like a special tail? Is that why it's called a rooster tail?
Well, yeah.
What does it look like?
It's just feathers.
Feathers. Okay. And
Colorful
fish like
feathers.
that?
Yes.
Well, I'm excited.
pretty cool, huh? He knows a lot about fishing. Oh, buddy, and real quick, tell everybody about your new fishing pole. So we broke that one that we just bought because we were trying to reel in that big largemouth bass. And then what did you get yesterday?
An ugly stick. It's not ugly.
That's just the name of it.
Yes, and it's indestructible, so this one won't break.
It's supposed to be indestructible. I was telling Dill, I remember when I was a kid in the ugly stick ads in the fishing magazine, they'd have this guy and there'd be a picture of him. He'd bend the whole thing from the tip all the way down to the handle.
We're not doing that. We're not going to risk it.
No.
I don't know if we're going to test it, but supposedly you can't break them, right?
I'm not testing it.
You're not going to test it?
No.
Well, you may have to test it when we go on the boat with Kenny. What if you catch like a 50-pound catfish on that thing?
How you want to catch a catfish?
I don't know. Hey, you never know though. You never know what you're going to catch, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Dylan, thank you. You are an excellent podcast guest. I think you did a pretty decent job. How do you feel about it?
Good.
Good.
You want a career in podcasting? You can replace me and be Kelly's co-host.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You have to think
I
about
want
it.
to be a fisherman.
You want to be a fisherman?
You could do a fisherman podcast.
Yeah.
And all you talk about is fishing.
Yeah.
A fishing podcast. You know, there are probably fish. I'm sure there are fishing podcasts.
Maybe you and Dylan could start one.
Yes.
What do you think? We could start a fishing podcast?
Yes.
Talk about all our fishing expeditions.
You
And,
could interview very famous fishermen and fisherwomen. I guess they call them fisherwomen.
fisher people.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anglers.
Anglers, yes. I don't know what the correct nomenclature is anymore.
Who knows? Who
I
knows?
don't know any famous fishermen.
Bill Dance. Jimmy Houston.
Well, now that you're learning, you're learning about the fish. Now you can learn about the famous fisher people.
Yeah. Another back in the day story I was telling Dill is when I was a kid on Saturday and Sunday afternoon, after the cartoons were over, I'd watch fishing shows, and the fishing shows were awesome because we didn't have any streaming, so I had to wait until the fishing show came on. And then there was this guy named Bill Dance, and he always wore a Tennessee hat, and he wears these dark shades. You can never see his face. And Jimmy Houston had this blonde hair, and he kind of had a chili bowl cut, but it was blonde. And Jimmy Houston and Bill Dance, they would catch a lot of fish, and that was a lot of fun to watch, too.
I don't see any reason why y'all can't have your own fishing show. We need to put some thought into that.
Yes.
If Big Al Mack can have his own show about plants,
And he doesn't know anything about it.
then one Walter Evans and one Dylan Evans can have their own fishing podcast.
Yes.
Let's look into that. That could be it doesn't have to be like twice a week or anything like that. It could be once a month, a special thing.
What do you say when you see Big Al Mack on my phone?
I forgot. Bomb-man.
My man.
That's right. Well, Dylan, thank you. I know you don't want to sit here and listen to us talk about other stuff, do you?
No.
Why? What are you watching so passionately on
what's
TV
so
right
interesting
now?
on TV?
Bye.
What are you watching?
What are you watching?
Tell everybody.
iCarly.
Why would you tell
Oh,
everybody?
there he goes.
Oh,
he
now
panicked.
he's embarrassed.
All right, there he goes.
There he goes. He's embarrassed. He's obsessed with iCarly right now.
There goes Dylan.
That's his passion.
Wow, that was the quickest exit on a podcast I think I've
Oh,
ever
he's
seen.
back.
He's back.
Oh, he's getting his
He
blanket.
just had to get his blanket. There he goes.
Bye, Dill.
Bye, Dill.
Yeah, he went through what was it? It was Henry Danger, and then he went to this, right?
I liked Henry Danger.
I like Henry Danger too, but we watched it like 5 times in a row.
One
Now
of the
he's stuck on iCarly.
Top 5 funniest moments in all of TV history for me is when Captain Man and Schwoz are doing the jitterbug.
Well,
I was laughing so hard my side hurt.
I do laugh out loud at some of these
Yeah.
shows, honestly. Well, honey, listen, I'm going to talk a little bit about shaving while
Oh.
you shut the doors.
Okay.
Because Dylan's going to be
Shaving.
listening
Yeah, all
to
right.
iCarly, and it's going to be loud.
I shave.
I used to think the only way to get a close shave was using a man's razor, but it was bulky, it was clumsy in my hand. I can't tell you how many times I would slip and end up with a huge gash on my leg. It happened a lot, but Billy is different. Ladies, Billy is the best razor out there for when you want an extra smooth shave, no pink tacks, no visit to the drugstore, no breaking the bank, and it's not bulky and clumsy in your hand. It's sleek and smooth. It's easy to hold as it glides over your skin. You can go to mybilly.com to get their starter kit for just $9, super affordable, and it includes their award-winning razor, 2 refill blades, and a cult favorite magnetic holder. And it was time for my daughter to start shaving, her legs and her underarms. The Billy starter kit was perfect. It was like a little welcome to womanhood gift. Go to mybilly.com to meet the razor that made everyone start talking about razors. They were an Allure Best of Beauty winner and on Nylon's beauty hit list for a reason.
And to express a little love for our show, go to mybilly.com/lovin'. It's a small way you can support us while getting the best razor you will ever own. And it's only $9 to get your starter kit plus free shipping always. So go to mybilly.com/lovin'. That's spelled BILLIE.com/lovin'.
All right. And there's another reason I wanted you to shut the door, because we're going to do a follow-up to a question you asked our podcast
Oh, yeah.
listeners
Well,
last week.
Yeah, we will. And we have some correspondence.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't done this in a while. We have.
Is this about what we asked, or is this separate?
Letters. We have a couple of letters, and then we have a couple that are related to the question we asked. Shall we go through them?
Proceed.
Okay. The first letter is from Sherry. Subject: podcast number 71.
Oh, she's going back old school.
Podcast number 71, laundry.
Mm.
I'm listening to number 71 podcast about laundry. I wanted to share with you my experience.
Okay.
When my two daughters were 2 and 5 years old, their dad and I divorced. As the girls got older, I was drowning in all the laundry. I would try on an outfit. They would try on an outfit, change their mind, and put on that outfit in dirty clothes rather than hang them up at ages 5 and 8 years old.
This is literal laundry, not code.
Well, what do you think it was?
Laundry is code for sexual relations on the Kid Craddock Morning Show.
Well, I don't say laundry. I say sexual relations.
Okay, so I really thought it was about laundry. Okay,
Yeah.
so.
At ages 5 and 8 years old, I had
Yes.
had enough.
Yes.
Working full-time and all that is involved with being a full-time single parent, I took them to Walmart and got each of them a new laundry hamper for each of their rooms. I taught them how to use the washer and dryer and how to hang up and fold their clothes. I set the expectation that if you don't have anything clean to wear, you'll have to get clothes out of the hamper to wear. They did their own laundry. I would have to pick up the 5-year-old to get her clothes out of the washer.
She would pick her up she'd have to hold her.
Oh, yes.
to
Okay.
reach in.
I'm following you now. It was amazing how few times they were changing their clothes. They did an awesome job with their clothes. I encourage you to teach your kids how to do their own laundry. There will be complaining, but if you stay strong, and you'll be so happy, and they will take pride in taking care of their clothes.
I 100% agree with you.
Love your podcast. I went back to the beginning and working my way up to the present day. Sherry.
Thank you, Sherry. You're right. You're absolutely 100% right. I've made attempts to teach Emma Kelly how to do her own laundry. I don't know that we've
go?
have we ever tried to teach the boys?
No.
No, we need to. And I've told Emma Kelly that. I was like, you've got to learn how to do these things for when you get out of the house. She's like, well, that's like 4 years from now. That's the attitude. And honestly, I'll tell you the truth. I don't mind doing her laundry. Now, when we first got married, I'm sorry, I got a little choked. When we first got married, I remember the first weekend or the second weekend, whatever, when we had all the kids the same weekend. And I was doing suddenly, I don't know why I did this to myself, but I decided I was going to do everybody's laundry, change their bedding all in one day. And I started crying. I'm like, is this what my life has become? But I learned how to space it out, like not just wait till I just do it along and along. It makes it a lot easier. But yeah, but it is frustrating when your kids, like Emma Kelly, I'll have it all folded in her basket and I'll take it to her room. I say, just put it all away. And instead she'll rummage through it, pull out what she wants to wear, and then just start throwing dirty clothes on top of the clean until it's a mixture. And I'm washing the clean clothes again, like she's saying.
That's a beating.
So Sherry, you are a more effective parent than I am, honestly. And I kudos to you, because I hear of other people teaching their young children how to cook, how to clean toilets, how to empty the dishwasher, how to do laundry. And I know I used to do that stuff too when I was young. But I don't know. I guess I'm just that single mom thing. I think the single mom guilt got to me, and it's been hard to shake.
You should, listeners that have kids that don't do their own laundry, though, find solace in that. You like that word, solace?
Yeah, it's a good one.
Thank you, babe. In that, you wouldn't consider me like a mama's boy, would you? I mean, not.
No,
I mean,
you love your mother.
I love my mom,
but you're not like calling her for everything.
Yeah. So maybe part of the reason I haven't pushed the boys to do their laundry is because my mom did my laundry until I was in high school.
Yeah.
I'll put it out there and admit it. Now, when I went to college, I didn't know how to do my own laundry.
You figured it out.
I figured it out. I had to do my own laundry.
Well, same thing with me. You'll throw a red thing in there and suddenly you have a bunch of pink T-shirts, That happens. But like I don't mind doing it.
I have a technical laundry question for you.
Yeah.
I don't wear whitey tighties. So I wear colored trunks.
Yes.
Now, those are undergarments.
Yes.
But they're colored undergarments.
Yes.
Red, blue, gray, black.
Yeah, you have multicolors.
So on and so forth.
Yes.
Now, do you throw in dirty undergarments with regular clothes because they're colors? So do I put all those undergarments in with my shirts and my shorts and just run them all?
Yeah, why not?
Because back in the day, when you just wore whitey-tighties, Mom would throw all the whitey-tighties and all the white T-shirts with bleach, hot water, heavy cycle.
I don't think people do that anymore with the detergents we have today and the way we've learned. I mean, I don't think it's necessary.
I'll tell you what, my whitey-tighties came out crisp and white.
I know they did.
Yes.
Maybe your mother had to use an inordinate amount of bleach on your white.
Oh, because of the hash browns?
I'm just wondering.
Skid marks?
Hash marks. You call them hash browns?
Skid marks. Hash marks. I call them hash marks.
I thought you just said hash browns.
Or hash browns, yeah.
Anyway, but no, they put bleach in tied with bleach now, so you can safe for colors, right?
Add?
No, I'm just saying there's bleach included, so you don't need to have to necessarily do the separates.
Okay. There's laundry talk. Who do you think does more laundry here in this home, me or you?
Well, it depends.
I do a lot of my own laundry.
You do a lot of your own laundry.
I just trust myself with my laundry.
But I will do mine, and then when yours is full, I will do yours as well.
Yeah.
I will do yours. But you've never...
It's not that I don't trust you.
Have you ever gone to my laundry basket?
No.
No, you never have.
Not unless it's you asked me to.
That's fine. I don't care.
Because your stuff is... I just don't want to ruin it.
I get it. But the thing...
Because I've got yelled at for throwing a bra in the dryer.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
And you have not gotten yelled at. That's silly. But if I have a load in the wash and Allen comes in because he's impatient. Here's the thing about Allen. When the boys come, boys are notorious for wearing a piece of clothes 3 or 4 times and, whatever. And you'll take when the boys come, they'll have 3 or 4 things to wash, but you're going to do every bit of laundry every time they leave. And you get impatient. If my stuff's in there, you'll throw my stuff in the dryer to wash their handful of things.
It's not impatient. I'm moving it along.
That's why you end up putting my bra in the dryer.
I'm moving it along. Let's get it moving.
Anyway.
Let's move it along here.
But Sherry, that was her name, right? Sherry.
Yes. Like this podcast.
Listen,
let's move this thing along.
Listen, Sherry, you have my admiration, and I wish I was more like you.
Okay.
But I really don't mind doing it.
There's laundry talk on a sandwich and some loving. Here's another letter from. This is one of our very, very best presidential customers, Danny. Allen. First, Megan and I really enjoyed. I cannot read today.
You want me to read it?
First, Megan and I really enjoyed the Mexico trip. That was a lot of fun. Just listening to the podcast where you were talking about your son's interest in fishing. I thought this was a timely letter. All I can say is I'm in my 50s and I have been fishing since I was 7 or 8. I spent many years fishing with my grandfather and his friends, spent many nights listening to the hiss of a Coleman lantern while fishing for catfish. That's exactly what I was talking about. That's the kind of lantern my dad had, was that Coleman. I'm a firm believer that my love of fishing and all things outdoors started with me fishing with my grandfather and is still a very integral part of my life. I also believe it kept me out of trouble as a young man. I was too busy fishing and hunting to have much interest in women, drinking, or as you would say, buffoonery.
Yes.
And then Danny talks about he's doing a lot of surf fishing right now. And he sent me some pictures of a shark that he caught and some big fish that he caught down in Padre Island. So he says, I would encourage you to take him fishing and foster his interest in it when possible. Fishing is one of those things he can do regardless of age, income, and in most cases, even geographical location. Some of my best memories are fishing trips, whether it's the people, the fish, the weather, or just the sunrise or sunset. Good luck with fishing. Even if you don't catch anything, you're outdoors and making memories. Danny.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
Thank you, Danny.
It's a great letter. And I enjoy talking to Danny. And Megan. Megan is a teacher in Frisco. And she asked me to do a little presentation for her class one time, a recording on how I got into podcasting.
Oh.
So it took a while to explain, but yeah.
Megan is Danny's wife?
Girlfriend. All right. Got a couple more letters here, babe. So yeah, there was a question we asked. There was a question we asked last podcast about. So we're faced with a dilemma, and Kelly is she's getting up right now. She's. I always have to describe what you're doing.
What? I just told you to
She gave me the keep talking symbol, and then she got up. Now she's shaking her head at me with that face she makes at me when she's exasperated.
do the
Are you
keep-
exasperated?
When I do the keep talking sign, that means just keep talking.
I don't know whether that
Means keep talking.
No. Because that's the one Robert does when he says stop talking or
said-
wrap it up.
No, I went keep talking.
Oh, I
with
thought
my
you were
mouth.
doing stop talking.
No,
Oh.
because you flat out said on the podcast,
panicked.
Kelly's giving me the keep talking sign.
I panicked.
You said I was hot and I was getting up to turn on the fan.
But you're always hot.
But I didn't want to stop down the podcast.
Like you're doing now?
You did it. You would have just kept talking and I would have sat
Tell
back
everybody
down.
what question we asked last week or last time.
Alan was having a bit of a quandary because one of our children, well, were we talking in general? We let him know it was one of our kids. I can't remember.
No, we were letting them know.
We didn't say a
one of
name or
ours.
anything. Anyway, the kids are just involved in several sports, and that's great. They get to try different things. And are we saying which kid? Can we say? We haven't said.
Let's just keep it general.
Okay, keeping it general.
Let's keep it general. Yeah.
Anyway, one of our children has said they no longer desire to play a specific sport.
Mhm.
It's a sport he's very good at, very good at. But it's getting to be, he's more and more vocal about how he doesn't want to go to practice. He just doesn't want to do it. And the quandary is, well, how much is that? It's like, with me with piano lessons when I was a little girl. I didn't want to practice. I didn't want to. I didn't want to do I didn't want to do the recitals. I didn't want to do it. And, I finally beat my mother down until she said I didn't have to do it anymore. How much of it is just you got to keep pushing your child? I mean, at what point do you tell your kid they don't have to do it anymore? And how do you know when to keep pushing them?
Yeah.
It's a conflict.
There's that balance on how much of it is, I just don't want to go to practice today, but I still like the sport. And okay, well, you need to go because you've made this commitment and you need to go to practice.
Yeah.
Or versus burnout, I'm just not having fun with it and I just want to quit.
Yeah. How do you know? And and I was talking to my daughter about this, and my daughter, I could just wring her neck. She said, I wish you would have made me play sports when I was younger. I said, you have got to be kidding me.
Wow.
Alan, you have witnessed her with volleyball as in middle school. You saw what we had to deal with that. When she was little, I don't want to go. I don't want to run. I don't want to do this. I couldn't make her do anything.
I witnessed her, you having to carry her out of a Mexican restaurant one time just because she didn't want to walk.
Because she fell and she was embarrassed. Come on. She fell and she was embarrassed. But she was a just very difficult child.
Yeah.
And now she's like, I wish you would have forced me to do it. Well, too late.
Yeah.
But I told her, I was telling her back to her dance experience, me having to force her to go to dance for 2 years. I said, enough's enough. It was such a beating on me. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. But this is a little bit different.
Yeah, so we asked that question. It's not like Kelly and I don't think, just remembering back to what we talked about, we didn't say, okay, this is definitely what a parent should do. We're like as confused
What do you
as maybe
do?
most parents. So we asked for some input and we got a couple of letters. So
How do you know what the right thing to do is?
Yeah, I thought I'd read a couple of these. The first one is from Rebecca. Subject, sports debate. From being the child in the situation, I would just make sure your child has other interests. I played softball from the time I was 9 competitively at about 12. There was never an off season for me. I had some sort of practice, lesson, conditioning every day. During the actual season, we spent every weekend traveling. I did love the sport. The ultimate goal was to get a college scholarship. It took a lot of hard work, dedication, and time to achieve that. So that is the one lesson that I learned. Goals can be achieved if you put in the work. It also took me out of my comfort zone because almost every season I was on a different team with new people. But once I had achieved my goal of getting a college scholarship, I was burnt out. It wasn't fun anymore. I still enjoyed workouts and being with my teammates, but when it came to games, it just wasn't there for me anymore. When college was over, though, I felt lost. My whole world had been softball for so long, I didn't know what else I was good at. Now, as a mother, if my child has a passion for something and show real interest in playing a sport, I would support them and push them to stick with it if it's something they want to do. But I would also make sure they have other interests and hobbies as well.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like with this one child we're talking about, it's not like this is the only sport. He's got 2 other sports he wants to continue playing.
Yeah.
He just wants to give up one.
Yeah. And maybe my situation's a little different, but I mentioned last podcast, I played basketball and golf growing up. I played golf more seriously than basketball, but I was a pretty decent golfer. I was a good golfer, and I had I had dreams of playing college golf. That didn't work out for me. But I remember the day when I was a senior in high school. I was a really good golfer. And that summer, I just remember the day that I just said, you know what? This just isn't fun. I just don't like this. It's a job to me. I mean, I had hit thousands and thousands and thousands of practice shots, and I had practiced in the heat, practiced in the snow, played tournaments, rode my bike with my golf clubs bungee corded to my bicycle to the golf course so I could practice. My mom and dad taking me back and forth, all those years, and I can remember to this day, I was standing there on the golf course thinking, what am I doing? This just isn't fun anymore. I don't want to do this anymore.
It hit you really hard.
Yeah, it just hit me. I'm like, there's other things I could be doing. I could be practicing guitar. I could be building models. So there are a lot of hobbies that I had that I could do.
That's the thing about Alan is he's got 1,000 hobbies. He's never bored. Seriously. Have you ever been bored?
Mm-hmm.
But if you're bored, it's for like 2 seconds because you go find something to do.
I'll always find something to do.
You always find something to do, whether it's, when he wanted to learn how to do photography, he studied photography books, watched photography videos. When he wanted to learn magic, he's got stacks and stacks of books on the subject. You're either studying or you're doing something. You're fiddling all the time. You've always got a project.
Yeah,
and that's great. I'm not like that. I wish I was more like that, but I don't know. It takes all kinds of people, right?
I guess my point was, some kids get to a point where they're just like, I just don't want to do this anymore.
But that's the thing. That's the important thing is like, you're not quitting it and quitting everything.
Mm-hmm.
You still have, like you said, there's other things I want to do. It's not like I just don't want to do anything.
Right.
If a kid suddenly gives up the thing he's been passionate about and does nothing, zero, then I'd be concerned.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be worried about his mental health.
Yeah.
And his mental state. That's what in his emotional state at that point.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. And speaking of that, since we're on the subject, is there something that's interfering with your happiness? Something preventing you from achieving your goals? Are you torn? Do you have a dilemma? Not just like with us with, our child, but maybe something you're going, through internally. Well, BetterHelp will assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist. And you can connect in a safe, private online environment. It's so convenient. You can start communicating in under 48 hours. And this is not a crisis line. It's not self-help. This is professional counseling done securely online. You can send a message to your counselor anytime. It's the middle of the night and suddenly you can't sleep. It's like, well, I need to talk to someone about this. So you can send a message and you will get a timely, thoughtful response. Plus, you can also schedule weekly video or phone sessions, and you never have to drive across town to the therapist's office, sit in that waiting room ever again. Everything we can do online now, including quality therapy. And BetterHelp is committed to facilitating great therapeutic matches. So they make it easy and free to change counselors if you need to. Plus, it's more affordable than traditional offline counseling with financial aid available. So whether you're dealing with anger issues, family conflicts, sleeping trouble, anxiety, stress, no matter what you're dealing with, BetterHelp offers licensed professionals who are specialized in those areas. You can check out the testimonials posted daily on their site as well.
And we want you to start living a happier life today. So as a listener of A Sandwich and Some Lovin', you get 10% off your first month by visiting our sponsor at betterhelp.com/sandwich. So join over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/sandwich.
All right. And you had another letter you wanted to read about the subject?
Yeah, we got a couple more here, babe. Why don't we bring it home for Jerome with a couple of these? Next letter is from Kim. Subject, kids sports discussion. Hey, guys. I love listening to you so much. I'm listening to one of your podcasts right now. You guys are talking about the sports discussion with your kids, whether to make them stay in sports or whether for them to choose if they want, because I don't think it's fun anymore. I just wanted to give you my input. For our kids, we have 3 boys. Every season, we ask them what they want to do. Every fall season and every spring season. If they tell us they want to do football, they finish the season because they made an obligation to that sport and that team for the season. If midway through the season they don't think it's fun anymore, or they threw a fit about going to practice or going to games, we simply have the discussion with them that they made this decision and they have an obligation to their team and to their sport that they chose. Then we let them know next season you can choose something different.
Right.
But whatever you choose to commit to that season, you will finish. We think that teaches them a good lesson and teaches them about growing up a little bit about making their own decisions. I'm a new listener, and again, I love you guys so much and love listening to the podcast. Have a great day. Kim from Frisco.
Thank you, Kim. Yep.
That's great advice.
Yep.
That's great advice, and that's something that I think we've both said
Yep.
to our kids is, look, you can't just get up and quit in the middle of a season. You know, if it's in between seasons, which this is
between seasons.
This is kind of an in-between season thing, then we agree with you, Kim. I would highly discourage a child from saying, I'm out in the middle of a season, because you've got teammates, you've got coaches, you've made that commitment. I agree with you totally. I'm with you on that.
Me too.
And then our last letter is from Sandra, choosing kids sports. Hello, Kellie and Allen.
Hello.
My son will be 16 next month. He played baseball since he was able to walk. He was a super good pitcher in right field on an elite travel team. He played all year and he loved it until he didn't. He started to play basketball and he realized he enjoyed that more. So much to my husband and mine's sadness, he quit baseball when he was old enough to decide on his own, around 11. We were sad, but we let him quit. His heart wasn't in anymore, so he wasn't giving it his all. He stayed playing basketball in middle school, freshman, and JV. It's good, but I sure do miss seeing my boy play baseball. We've always let him choose what he wants to do as long as he loves it and as long as he chooses something. Sorry this is so long. It's not
long at all.
It's not long at all, Sandra. Hope it helps. Y'all are great parents. Don't ever let Kellie say she's an awful mom. She is not. I agree. She shouldn't say that, Sandra.
Well,
I don't know why she says
fail a
that.
lot.
Love you both desperately, Sandra.
I appreciate that, Sandra. Yeah, that's the thing. And, it's also, I don't think I'm putting too much business out there, but it is also different when you have a divorced family situation, when you might have one family, one household that has one train of thought and the other household that has a different train of thought. That's kind of difficult too. How do you broach the subject there?
Yeah, that throws a whole nother level of
it's another
complexity in it.
layer. It's different when you're husband and wife and it's only the two of you making the decisions for your kids. So
Yeah, for sure.
it's difficult.
But Sandra, I agree with you there as well. I think I even mentioned this last podcast. I'm more from the school of encourage and do it if it's your passion and you're having fun with it.
Right.
If it becomes a job, if it becomes something that you're griping about because you don't want to go to practice, then don't do it.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
Yeah.
That's my viewpoint.
Well,
My viewpoint may not be everyone else's viewpoint, but that's my viewpoint.
Yeah. Well, that's what makes the world go round. We all have different viewpoints, right?
Yes, we do.
And everybody's wrong but us.
We do. All right, babe.
Well, that was a fun podcast. We so enjoyed having
That was fun.
Dylan on our podcast to kick things off. We hope y'all enjoyed hearing from him. He's such a good kid. He's just so good.
Very shirtless.
Very, very shirtless during the podcast. That's why I had the fan off. Dylan tends to be a little cold natured, but he wants, in June, he would have the fireplace on.
Right.
And he'd have his feet out. He'd have a blanket on, his feet up against the fireplace. He just loves it. And he has this dinosaur onesie that's basically made of wool, and he will wear that every day.
He had it on yesterday.
Had it on yesterday. I'm like, God, I get hot looking at it.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm going through some changes in my life, and I get super hot. But I wanted to keep the environment really pleasant for him since he was our podcast guest. So he was shirtless, wrapped up in a blanket. I had the fan off. And I was about to die. So as soon as he left the room, I'm like, how can I get over there to turn the fan on? So anyway.
he is so cute. That kid.
He's the baby, and
will talk. And you may not have gathered it too much on the podcast, good strong listener. I mean, he was talking, but that kid, he will talk your ear off.
Let me tell you, compared to other kids, you stick a microphone in their face, they clam up.
They clam up, yeah.
He talked at all.
Yeah.
That gives you an inkling of how talkative he is
Oh
in
my
real
gosh,
life.
he loves to visit and talk.
See?
We're in the car together.
He'd be good at raspberry family reunions.
Goodness. And if we go to Chili's and we're sitting there, he wanted to go to Chili's yesterday. So we sat up at the bar. Did I tell you this? We sat up at the bar together and he sat there and talked the entire time. We were watching the golf tournament. where there was a baseball game on, and of course he wants to talk fishing, and we sat
All
there.
he wants to talk
we
about.
sat there for an hour and just talked. It was great. It was really great.
Yeah.
All right, babe. Got anything else?
Nah, I'm good. You got to get packed up. You got to hit the road soon.
Got to hit the road. We're going down to Cedar Creek
Look at
Lake.
the time. Look at the time.
We got plenty of time. Check-in isn't until 3.
All right.
All right. Well, I love you desperately.
I love you.
I love our listeners desperately. I love Dylan Evans desperately, and all the kids. But Dylan Evans, thank you for being on today, and I'm sure we will podcast again real soon. And in the immortal words of the great Keanu Reeves, life is good when you have a good sandwich.